Mr. Kevin Rowell is an expert in construction technology, disaster recovery, and operating human settlements with the United Nations. He was instrumental in developing housing for the largest refugee camp in the world, that is in Bangladesh, Chittagong. Kevin excels at oversight of building, operating temporary settlements. He thrives when developing deployment on short notice into complex scenarios with minimal information. He supports teams from many positions by fostering teamwork to build a plane while in flight. In 2004, he co-founded the Natural Builders, a licensed general construction company, combining his passion for sustainability and commitments to improving the lives of beings. His license in international building codes, contract laws, and committed to quality assurance. Kevin Rowell grew up in Michigan and a teenager moved to California to be Zen monk. After years of organic farming and starting a wall, he decided to get off his cousin and try to help the people. I would like to call upon Kevin, please.
Thank you so much, Kamesh, and everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's such an honor to be here and to share this space with so many colleagues, with so much incredible experience and such a depth of knowledge. Just start this. So Kamesh shared a little bit. Over the last 2 decades, I've gotten to be a part of many, many beautiful projects. As he mentioned, I was born in Michigan. My favorite color is green. And since I was a child, I have been obsessed with building out of sticks and stones and mud. This led to the founding of my company, the Natural Builders, in 2004. And has resulted in an incredible life, studying and working with masters of construction and community around the world. Many of those projects have centered around post-disaster recovery and efforts to improve traditional construction materials. And today I'll share a little story about some of those experiences. In August of 2017, violence unfolded in Myanmar as government forces engaged in what the United Nations and actually just yesterday here in the United States, the Biden administration would determine is genocide towards the Rohingya ethnic group, killing thousands and forcing them to flee to safety across the border in Bangladesh and far beyond. The people of Bangladesh opened their arms and received the refugees, establishing Kutupalong refugee camp as an extension of Balokali camp built decades earlier near Cox's Bazar. Cox's Bazar, a location popular with tourists for its long sandy beaches, quickly became the largest bamboo city. Aid agencies raced to provide shelter and food as over 800,000 people fled to safety. Flooded with need, refugees were provided only basic provisions for making shelters, including rope, tarp, bamboo, basic tools, and technical and physical support. Almost overnight, the world's largest refugee city took shape. Quickly, damage due to pests was recorded throughout the camps and the quest for solutions undertaken. Partners like the world-famous engineering firm Arup and the organization Humanitarian Bamboo and many others were critical in identifying the need for a more durable solution. My first deployment came with the American Refugee Committee and took me deep inside of Kutupalong and a picture of what was happening on the ground with the context of this camp. You can find this full report with the American Refugee Committee at naturalbuilding.com, my website. As a first step at improving the durability of the shelter, the United Nations International Organization of Migration established and ran a trial bamboo treatment facility near Cox's Bazar. For several months, they practiced using borax and boric acid in submersion, eventually treating about 300 bamboo poles per day. I joined as a consultant during this initial phase of testing, working in concert with other agencies and other international professionals, including our dear friend Kamesh's guidance and support. Seeing the success in this small venture, 300 poles a day, we boldly set out to expand the bamboo treatment facility from the trial size to a capacity of over 2,000 poles. As the facility infrastructure and quality assurance improved, so too did our ability to provide improved shelter for the Rohingya and the local Bangladesh community. As we did this, we realized we were having an incredible impact on the region's supply of bamboo. As we improved the process, we needed to improve the quality and quantity of material being delivered. Working closely with the Bangladesh Forest Research Institute's director, Dr. Mahbub Babar, the shelter sector leadership, and numerous partners, we set out to establish more universal standards. A team of us surveyed the regions where the supplies came from and traced the bamboo's meandering path to our facilities, studying the types of contact and engaging key stakeholders to understand how to embed quality insurance and reduce the negative environmental impact of over-harvesting bamboo. We took a multi-pronged approach, lowering the minimum material supply threshold for our contracted vendors, meaning they didn't have to just commit 1 million poles of bamboo, they could commit 40,000 or 10,000 poles. This allowed for more vendors to participate. We went from 4 main suppliers to over 14 main suppliers. The diversification created competition, but it also created better motivation by decentralizing the supply chain. Standards of trainings for awarded contractees allowed us to improve the explanation of technical requirements, diameter, age, etc. We quickly rose from a 40% material acceptance to well above 90%. The trucks came closer to the planned schedule and the pipeline was more secure. Now came the tricky part, finding a way to balance the system in the context of an emergency of scale never before seen. Too much material made the storage yards burst at the seam, and too little made distributions slow down. We had to control and influence what we could and also respect the things out of our control. As the system to process bamboo became more regular, we had to consistently improve on each step in order to reuse the liquids. For example, from treatment, we engaged with the environmental science team called HiFi Design Labs, creating protocols to manufacture charcoal from the offcuts of the bamboo. This charcoal would be turned into a filter medium. We can run the effluent or the liquid portion of the treatment solution through this medium to remove the dissolved organic carbons or the sugars that build up in the treatment tanks. By doing this, it allows us to not only reuse the water portion of the treatment liquid, but also the existent borax and boric acid content. Now, I will say this is a very complex piece of research, and it is still going on to this day. The research continues in collaboration with the Bangladesh Forest Research Ministry. They recently opened a central bamboo aspect training facility in Bangladesh, and this facility has been continuing to support with technical advice to the IOM team. These efforts made to improve the living conditions for the residents of Kutupalong, as well as the nearby Bangladeshi community. They represent a massive effort and also only a small hint of what is to come as the world faces increased environmental and social fragility. With 90 million displaced people today, we must make rapid and drastic steps to assure that we reduce environmental and social risks globally. Just in the last 2 weeks, the number of people displaced has grown by over 7%. Just in 2 weeks. If an annual increase of 7% were to continue for the next 30 to 40 years, we will be at over 1 billion people displaced. Every time communities are displaced, it inadvertently affects another community's resources and ability to thrive. While bamboo will not solve the world's problems, this project showed us how powerful international collaboration in compassion with consideration of both the environment and the people can be. I want to send a special thank you to the incredible team of the International Organization of Migration in Bangladesh, its leadership, and each of the sectors and contributing NGOs. It is only in humanitarian work, it is only in this kind of radical collaboration that we can truly accomplish great things. The shelter cluster, my friends at the Bangladesh Forest Ministry, and so many amazing supporters and bamboo experts around the world. My mentor, Daryl DeBoer, Mr. Kamesh, of course, Jörg Stamm, so many names, so many friends who all jumped in and offered their frank advice during the review of the technical portions of this project. Anyone is interested, you can go to naturalbuilding.com. With the consent of the United Nations International Organization of Migration, we were able to publish multiple documents to help share openly what our process was. These processes are not final, nothing is final. We are truly committed to and hoping that people will be able to take the information of such a grand scale and make improvements. And if anyone has any questions at all or needs support, I am here for it. I am your brother in bamboo. So thank you very much for the precious opportunity, my friend. I'm so grateful to each of you and the incredible work you do. And my blessings on this conference. May its energy and merit go out into the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much for your nice presentation. We are very much touched by your presentation, and I hope that such projects will be there around the globe where we all can play together. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the Kevin. It's a wonderful speech. Let us know how the big project, how it's success by using bamboo.